My name is Insane Raven and I am back with another episode of Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. And we just have to figure out why. Why would you do that?
I found her. There in the rec room. She was hurt. She asked me to bring her that protein drink. But when I went to get the powder from the chem lab, it just occurred to me all of a sudden.
Now's my chance to kill her. That's what you thought, right?
Nope.
That's when you switched out the protein powder, and that's when you gave her the...
Was it a mercy killing?
And then she downed it. All at once.
Oh, so she did.
And then...
Hold it. I'm not convinced.
You're
What?
not about to claim she wouldn't kill a close friend, are you?
What?
Still don't get it, do you? The game we're playing here isn't so kind. Honeyed words like friendship don't matter here. What matters is outwitting the opponent, defeating them.
He's so cold,
A
dude.
person alive would sacrifice themselves for another. In the end, we're all in it for ourselves, just like how this girl sacrificed Sakura to save herself.
You say that, but I'm still not convinced.
How many times do you plan to repeat yourself?
As many times as it takes for you to
Don't
listen.
misunderstand me. I'm not saying it because of some misguided sentimentalism, but there's still that
I'm not Makoto.
mystery, and I'm not convinced.
Are you talking about the locked room problem?
Hina, if you really are the killer, explain it. How did you create that locked room?
Well... that doesn't matter. Just because I'm guilty, that means I have to tell you everything?
Kind of. I mean, that's a big part of the problem.
It doesn't. But the fact that you won't tell us concerns me.
Surely you're not... Do you honestly think Hina didn't actually kill her?
And if I do?
Impossible. She switched out the mixtures. She's the culprit. There's no way you can doubt this.
Are you sure about that? Even ignoring the fact that I don't want to believe it, it just doesn't fit.
What doesn't fit?
He's sweating.
Why would someone...
Sweating bullets! Sorry.
It's too obvious. Too easy.
He's right. It makes it look like you wanted people to suspect you.
That was... I was just... nervous. So... I didn't...
What is happening?
Footprint.
You didn't notice?
Yeah.
How the fuck did you not notice?
What can I do?
Listen, Hina. Could you go into a bit more detail? Tell us more about when you switched the poison and the protein.
Pretty please, if you don't mind.
That doesn't matter.
Kinda does.
Tina, please, I'd like to know too.
Fine.
It was suicide.
If you like, it's clear that Hina is. the
It's
culprit.
suicide. It's the only way the locked door makes sense.
Nobody else to suspect. Nobody else could have possibly done it.
Alright, so now I'm back to my original. Either it's suicide or Bayaka
Go
did
ahead,
it.
Hina. Start from the moment you arrived at the chem lab.
That's literally the only answers.
Well, right away, I went to Section C and got the poison.
No, you didn't.
And is that when you spilled the powder in front of that part of the shelf?
Yeah. When I opened the bottle, I dropped it like an idiot.
So why didn't you clean it?
See. Okay then, go on.
So then I moved to Section A and got the protein powder. And
But that would make
different.
different footprints.
Once I was done with that, I took the protein can that had the poison in it and left the...
Because that would create footprints going from C to A, then out. Not footprints that go directly to A and then out.
I accidentally put the bottle filled with protein powder back on the wrong shelf. And because of that, everything I did got found out. And that's it.
That
No.
story you just told.
It's
You
bullshit.
went to Section C to get the poison. Then moved to Section A to get the protein, right? Meaning you went from Section C to Section A. Do I have that correct?
Yeah.
Bullshit. That diagram don't make a lick of fucking sense.
Can you repeat that series of events one more time?
What's wrong with you, Big Mac? You're being awfully pushy.
It's the same thing no matter
Big
how many
Mac?
times you hear it.
You just fucking call me
You're satisfied.
a burger. Until we figure it out. Until I uncover the full truth of this case. Man, it's starting to feel like an Orient Express type deal. Footprints in the powder, chem lab shelf, source of the powder.
First, I went to section C.
Nope.
That's when I grabbed the poison.
Understandable.
And you spilled some of the powder on the ground in front of the shelf.
Yeah. When I grabbed the bottle, I dropped it.
Makes sense.
Okay. And then?
I moved from section C to section A.
No!
I don't have to hear the rest of this shit, because no, you fucking didn't.
You said you went to get the poison from section C. And that's where you spilled the powder, right?
Correctamundo.
What about it?
Footprints don't lie.
You said you moved from section C to section A to get the protein. But the footprints left at the scene were not moving from section C to section A.
Nope.
That contradicts what you just said.
Then maybe she moved in some weird direction on purpose to disguise her movements?
Even then, it's impossible.
That can't be it. Remember what Hina just said?
What the? Hina, what's the meaning of this?
Well,
Wait,
You
what?
lied to us. Plain and simple. If you look at the footprints, your movements in the chem lab are obvious.
The fuck's going on?
The powder had already been spilled when you came in, and you went straight to section A. So you never went to section C. Whatever you did there, it only involved section A.
Which means Bayaka killed Sakura.
well, you see...
But why would you try to protect Bayaka?
What the?
That doesn't make sense.
What's going on here?
And the footprints aren't the only problem with her account. Before I
She's
explain
smiling.
that part, I'd like to submit some new evidence.
Bitch, you can't do that! Objection!
New evidence? Impossible, there can't be.
Bayaka is the
Are you
murderer.
sure? After all, you're the one that gave it to me.
Did?
It was hidden inside the bottle of poison you gave me.
Bow.
Amazed you, of all people, would miss such a vital clue. A truly grave oversight.
Just say it already! What is it you think you found?
I found this.
Huh? A piece of
It sunk
glass.
to the bottom of the bottle, and the hidden clue was exposed, thanks to you ingesting the powder. I couldn't have solved the mystery without you. So, thank you for that.
But, what is it?
Oh, you still don't realize? Well then, Makoto, why don't you explain it?
Why do you want me to explain it? Bitch, you explain it! You don't know what's going on! I have whiplash from everyone saying that they killed the bitch. This is not the Orient Express. No one, not everyone killed the fucking bitch. One person did. Who did it? It was you! Stop fucking throwing things to me, bitch! Sorry.
Fine. If you really do know, explain the meaning of that shard of glass.
The shard of light blue glass, Kiriko found it in the bottle of poison. I think I remember now. I broke something in the same shade of blue.
I got it!
The rec room window?
It's part of the window from the rec room door, right?
The window?
The window we broke to
Yeah.
get in was light blue, just like that. So I think that must be it.
I'm so fucking confused, dude.
Right, it must be. Of course, that leads to another question.
How is it a locked room
How did
murder?
a shard of glass from the window get inside this bottle of poison?
What's so strange about that?
What's strange is that, according to what Hina told us,
Where was it that the bottle of poison should have been when I broke the classroom window? It should have been on section A shelf?
the bottle
I
of poison
completely
was left
guessed.
on the shelf in the chem lab. That is what you said, right, Hina? And
But
yet,
what?
somehow a piece of glass from the rec room.
Why would you try to protect Bayaka?
Everything Hina told us was a lie?
Yeah.
That bottle of poison most definitely found its way to the rec room. It was there at least until the window got broken. In other words, when the locked room was unlocked. There's no other way to explain the presence of that glass in that bottle.
And then, once the room was opened, the bottle somehow got moved back to the shelf in the chem lab. Meanwhile, the protein can we found at the crime scene was planted there. That had to be after the locked room was opened. In other words, after Sakura died.
Wait, hold on. You're moving too fast. I'll grant you, the bottle of poison may well have been in the rec room when it was locked.
What?
But how can you say the protein can was put there after the room was unlocked? We already know she was given the protein can with the poison inside, right? If that can wasn't there when she died, how did she get poisoned?
You're right. We do need to explain that.
Can someone explain it to me?
There's something I'd like to confirm with everyone here.
Huh?
It has to do with the protein can.
Okay.
After Sakura's body was discovered, did anyone move it or trip over it or anything like that?
What are you talking about? Is this some kind of loaded question?
Not
Kind of, yeah.
Just answer to the best of your ability.
Well, no, not that I remember.
Yeah, me either.
Not me.
Same here.
Yeah, me either.
Okay then, that settles it. That proves that the protein can found its way to the murder scene after the room
Because it was right there.
Oh, come on! How can you say that? How can you know what I don't know?
Because there's evidence. The proof that someone brought the protein can after the rec room was that the glass was underneath it. Glass was underneath it.
When it comes to that protein can, there's not a doubt in my mind. Until the locked room was unlocked, it absolutely was not in there.
Okay.
So you're saying someone planted it there after we got the door open?
No. No, that's impossible. It had to have been in there the whole time.
Nope.
It had to be. It was in there before the rec room was unlocked.
No, that's wrong.
Couldn't have been. Because there wouldn't have been glass underneath
You
the
remember
bottle.
how there was broken glass scattered all around the room, right?
Of course. It came from the window you broke to get in. What about it?
Well, those pieces weren't just scattered around the protein can.
Like they should have been if the bottle was there.
We also found pieces underneath the can.
What?
And this proves it.
He's sweating.
Shows that the can must have been put down on the
Sweating bullets.
So it had to be after we got into the room.
I see. So that's your explanation. Kyoko, earlier when you asked if anyone had moved the can or tripped over it,
You were making sure no one had kicked it over the
That was
glass.
case. That would explain the can being on top of the glass.
So you asked everyone about it to eliminate that possibility right out of the gate.
And that's made everything clear, hasn't it? As
And
long
the
as it was
subject
a
is
locked
you.
room, it only contained the bottle of poison, and not the protein can. But once the room was opened up, they were switched. And as a result, the protein can wound up in the rec room, and the bottle of poison returned to the chem lab.
However,
if that's all true, then why did Sakura drink the poison? I
Fair.
thought we all agreed she was tricked into drinking it because of the protein can.
No, that's not why. The only explanation is she drank it from its original bottle.
which would have created the locked room.
Precisely. She was alone in a locked room. All she had was the poison. What other possibility is there?
You're saying she drank it knowing what it was? Such
Yep.
a ridiculous fiction is...
Exactly what happened.
Tell
Suicide.
us already. Sorry. Please, tell us.
Before we get to that, we need to clarify
Do we?
one other thing. We need to establish who exactly got the poison from the chem lab and took it to the rec room.
It was Hina, right? She took it and gave it to Ogre.
Nope.
What do you think, Makoto?
Hina, Sakura, Hiro. Sakura herself?
I think it was Sakura herself.
It was a suicide.
So Sakura, who was apparently murdered, just poisoned herself?
What are you talking about?
There's no way!
Makes a lot of sense, doesn't
On
it?
the contrary, we know for a fact she went to the chem lab, right to the section full of poisons.
You're lying! Stop lying!
Nope.
Why? Why would you lie like that?
Why would you lie to protect Bayaka? I have to make her accept it. Is this another fucking... How many of these are we gonna have these? Holy shit.
You're a liar! What are you saying? Wrong! You're wrong! I'm telling you, I did it!
Ba 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 ba. Check.
You're a liar! What are you saying? Wrong! You're wrong! I'm telling you.
You want me to dance as I do this? It's fucking stupid.
You're a liar! Wrong! You're wrong! Wrong! You're wrong! I hate you! Do you have any kind of proof Sakura took the poison?
This should prove it.
Boom. She committed suicide.
Hina, did you know that Sakura's foot had a certain yellow powder stuck to it?
It did?
It did. The same yellow powder that had been spilled by the shelf in the chem lab. That powder was yellow, wasn't it?
It was. It's the only thing I truly know about that powder.
On Sakura. What else could it be but the powder from the chem lab?
Pizza and booze. It's a beautiful combo.
So, what was that powder doing on Ogre's foot?
Could have only been there if.
And it was only on her instep, right?
Sakura must have been standing right there where the powder was spilled. So the person who spilled the powder by the shelf wasn't Hina, but Sakura.
Yep.
And when Sakura dropped the bottle, she dropped it away from where she was actually standing, which is how she was able to avoid getting it all over herself.
Which would have put her on the right side of C.
Still got scattered around, and some of it must have wound up on her instep.
Makes sense.
Is there any problem with my thinking?
But why did Sakura pay a visit to Section C in the first place? The only explanation is that she was looking for poison. After all, that's all that section contained.
Either to off herself or to off.
It was me! The poison!
She knew. Hina knew Sakura was gonna kill one of them.
Because I killed her!
And she's trying to save her memory.
No, you didn't kill her.
She's trying to save her character. Oh, fuck. Yep.
Shoot!
What? Can I pick Sakura?
Here's my answer.
I didn't think that was gonna be an option earlier.
Sakura was Sakura herself.
And she told Hina about it.
What? The killer was Sakura?
Wait, so you're saying it was suicide?
Yep.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it any more than I believe I can fly.
I can't believe it either. Or rather, I don't.
It would explain the smile on her face.
But when you really think about it, everything matches up.
Including the fact that Hina was trying to protect her legacy.
Sakura went and got the poison. She barricaded herself in a room, and she drank it, all so she could end her own life. And that explains why we couldn't solve the mystery of the locked room.
Because Sakura wanted to create the locked room.
I got it! The locked room mystery was created by Sakura.
I'm sure she locked herself in so nobody could stop her from doing what she did. She sat there, drank the poison, and breathed her last breath. And the empty bottle of poison rolled around the locked room until we came and opened it. At that point, someone grabbed the bottle and snuck it out of the room. And that was you, wasn't it, Hina? You did it to throw off the investigation, didn't you?
You did it to protect your friend.
When we found her body, you stayed right there near the door, because you already knew Sakura was dead, and because the bottle of poison had rolled near the doorway.
That's when you picked up the bottle, right? I was too shocked to notice anything, and Kyoko was busy checking the body.
And the more I think about it, the more I realize how unusual your actions were. You said you were going to go get everyone else.
And
But
yet,
your real intention was to go to the chem lab and switch out the containers, wasn't it?
yep.
Once you were at the chem lab, you headed straight to the section where the protein powder was kept. There,
Yep.
you took the powder and poured it into the bottle of poison you'd grabbed from the rec room. When you left the lab, all you had was the empty protein can. Thinking about it like that, the footprints make perfect sense.
Because not only would you not have a lot of time to do it,
When you were
you also
gone,
didn't have anything else to
you
do.
gathered everyone together. And once you were back in the rec room, while everyone else was focused on Sakura, you quietly placed the can on the ground.
Yep.
Honestly, I should have noticed. You should have been the first one to run up to Sakura's lifeless body. The Hina I know never would have left her side in a situation like that.
So,
Yeah.
Sakura committed suicide. In order to hide this fact, Hina undertook a series of actions to undermine the investigation.
Yep.
As long as you could disguise the truth, you didn't care if we blamed you for her death. That's why you didn't bother to get rid of such obvious evidence, right?
You wanted to protect her name.
Footprints in the powder and the bottle of poison? Vital pieces of evidence, and yet,
So you're saying Hina consciously deceived us to make it look like she killed Sakura?
Yeah. And you fell for it.
No! No, 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 no! I killed her! I did it!
That's enough, Hina.
No, you didn't.
It's over.
It's not! Nothing's over!
It is. Actually, no. You're right. We have to end this properly.
Leave it to a vote. Oh, come on! You really gonna pull this shit? Really? Where's the dork? There's the dork. Go here. She hid there. The first bottle. Bottle with that piece. When he rode Toko, then he rode out of like a bat out of hell. She reads what was up. Wait, hold on. What the fuck? I'm gonna mess it up. It's gonna be because of this right here. It's gonna, those two are gonna be switched, which honestly isn't fair. Okay, no, she's more hiding there. So let's put this here. She's more calm and composed there. Switch this over here. She's freaked out of her mind. Put that there. Flip that shit upside down. She gets up. She's intense. Caring for her. She's cleaning up that. Head's hitting her fucking brains out. Cam C9. Are you telling me that Hina's gonna fucking take the blame for it? Really? That goes there. Wait, are you telling me that...
Here's exactly what happened. This case began when Sakura asked a number of people to meet her in the rec room.
Wait, are we gonna have to kill Hina?
Specifically, those people were Hiro, Toko, and Byakuya.
Byakuya.
But one of them headed out a bit earlier than the others. Toko. She got there one
Toka?
step ahead of everyone
That's how you're
else
supposed to say it?
and looked around for a good hiding spot.
Coughing, dying.
And she found it. She crawled into the locker to get out of sight. Then, from inside the locker, she saw Sakura enter the room. Next to arrive was Hiro.
As a peace offering.
When he got there, he mistakenly thought Sakura was going to try to kill him, so he panicked. Without thinking, he grabbed a nearby Monokuma bottle and attacked Sakura with it. Thinking he'd killed her, he hastily began covering up his crime.
Which wasn't really a
Took a
crime.
magazine from the table,
You know?
and forged a dying message from Sakura. To that end, he wrote down a name.
Toko.
Toko. By writing her
Toko.
name, he was hoping to pin the murder on her. But of course, Toko had witnessed the whole thing. So as soon as the coast was clear,
She came out.
she jumped out of the locker and hid the magazine on the shelf with all the others.
Except she's an idiot and put it upside
In
down.
her rush, she made one little mistake. She put the magazine back upside down.
Right.
Soon after, she watched as Sakura slowly opened her eyes. She also saw the blood dripping off Sakura's head and fainted. This caused her personality to switch back over to Genocide Jack.
Can we call her Genocide Joe? We give her the proper
Her second
respect.
personality also saw the blood-soaked Sakura, and she freaked out. And just like Hiro, she grabbed another Monokuma bottle and attacked her. This explains why there were 2 wounds on Sakura's head. Assuming Sakura really was dead this time, she set about disposing of the evidence. She gathered up the broken Monokuma bottle shards and the queen chess piece.
And he got the fuck out of
That
Dodge.
explains how Sakura was attacked twice with the same type of weapon. But even after those 2 blows, she was still alive.
She was the ultimate
What was
martial artist.
Sakura's actual cause of death?
C9.
It was the poison that Sakura herself got from the chem lab. She turned the rec room into a true locked room scenario, and then drank the deadly mixture. And there, she took her final breath. Later on, the rest of us discovered that her body was in there. We had to smash the door's window to get inside. But someone already knew what had happened. Knew that she had committed suicide. And that same someone quietly snatched the bottle of poison from off the ground.
Is it a crime though?
And while nobody was looking, replaced it with an empty protein can. They did all this specifically to place all the suspicion on themselves, in an attempt to guide the trial to a false conclusion. And the one who went to all that effort was you, Hina.
Yep.
That's the full truth of the case.
And now there's only one question. Will Hina be punished? And we'll have to find out in the next episode of Story Time. You hate me. I hate me. It's okay. See you next time. Bye-bye.